Hi everyone, welcome back to another Cut Up with Chris. Going for my head shave. I was going to do this yesterday, but everything got on top of me. My daughter's 13th birthday and it was a good night and I didn't get round to it. So it is now Saturday morning. I'm taking my son, who turns 10 on the 16th of this month, to some sort of inflatable park thing with his friends for his birthday party to jump around on some bouncy castle things. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm going to have my head shaved now and I'm going to be using this, the Karve, or the Christopher Bradley razor, made by Karve Shaving Company. Now this is an absolutely stunningly precision built razor. It's solid brass, it's very hefty. This has the 3-inch handle. I thought it was 3.5. I got everything wrong yesterday. I was too excited to use the razor and never did my research on what I purchased, which is a bit of a shame, but I will make up for it over my next videos. Now, it holds the blade exactly where it should hold the blade, spot on, perfectly in alignment. You've got the same blade gap on both sides. Once you slot the blade onto that top cap, there is absolutely no wiggle room at all. It just slots in and it's locked in place. It is precision built, it is absolutely beautiful, it's perfectly finished. I cannot find a flaw on this razor. There was a little bit of marking on the top cap when I first got it, but that, as you can see, I don't know what's happened, but it's gone. It's ever so slightly lightly there, but whatever happened during the shave and then drying it down afterwards, it's disappeared. But it is a beautiful razor, it really is. Now, I kept saying yesterday it was 0.74 blade gap. It's the C plate, which you can hopefully see just in this top corner. There should be a little C. Yeah, well, it's probably best showing you that way. In the bottom corner down here, a little C. And it's not, it's actually 0.85 blade gap, which is quite surprising because it was very smooth, very efficient. I could hardly feel the blade. Now I had the 0.95 timeless and you can really feel the blade on that, and it's nowhere near as smooth as this. So I do know that he's released an E and an F plate, which is 1.08 and 1.13, is it 1.23 blade gap, which is pretty damn big. And if it's as smooth on them as it is with this size, he's really onto a winner with this razor, and all he needs to do is just release a few different styles in terms of metals. I'm not a big brass fan, but I do like this. This is growing on me so quickly. But yeah, it's a phenomenal little razor. Now, enough talking about it. I've just got out the shower. I'm just going to wet my head. And I'm just going to use a bit of this. I haven't used this for a while. The PAA cube. This one is mentholated, and all it does is it just works as a pre-shave, gives you a little bit extra sort of slickness. The reason I'm using it is mainly for the menthol, because it's reasonably hot again today. So this is going to be pretty much not an all Canadian shave. It's not a million miles away, because I'm actually using Elvado shaving products as well. Elvado for men, which looks like that now. This is the latest pump model bottle, and you basically just squirt it out. You can take this anywhere, you can take it on a plane with you. It is 100 grams, which is 100 ml. I think you can take 100 ml on a plane. It is obviously it's in liquid form because it's a cream. No, it's not liquid, it's solid because it's a cream, and it's not pressurised. It's an actual pump bottle, so you can take it on the plane with you as well. You can use it with or without a brush. It's a phenomenal cream. Now, I'm using a brush I haven't used for a little while, one of my favourite brushes. You can no longer buy these new, it doesn't make them anymore, and this is from Brush Guy. Now this was made by Matt Martin over in the States. Him and his wife used to pretty much run a full shaving company in terms of making brushes and soaps and things, and they're no longer in business. And it's a shame because the brushes, and I never got to try a soap I don't think, but the brushes are stunning, and I've heard the soaps are awesome. So here we go. All you do is just 1, 2, 3. I used 3 pumps for a head shave. I think I used 2 for a face shave, I think, from memory. And here we go. Just rub that all over just now, and then what I'm going to do is I'll dip the tips of the brush, add some water, and we should see some lather growing. Now the knot that's in this is a 24mm Boss knot, or a game changer knot as many people say it is. The game changer knot that I have feels different and looks different, but it could be the loft. The game changer that I have has a lot lower loft than this one, so it does change the characteristics of the knot itself. And as you can see, this lathers up really, really easily. Ergonomically, this brush is one of the best brushes I've ever used. It just holds perfectly in your hand like that. It's phenomenal. And like I always say with this brush, it is not the most appealing visually, but when you get it in your hand you realise how nice it is, and the pour of the resin really makes the brush grow on you. Right, so in terms of growth, I think I've got about 4 or 5 days growth. In fact, it might be 7 days actually. I don't remember. Beautiful. So it's not a whole heap left in the brush there, so hopefully I'll have enough to get another pass and a bit out to finish off. So here we go with the Karve razor, the C-plate 0.85 blade gap with the grain. Oh, and I've got the Gillette Nasset blade that I used yesterday for my face shaving here as well. And that is like a hot knife through butter. I can't even really feel it. I can feel it cutting the hair, just. But it's more the very light audible feedback I'm getting, which lets me know it is cutting the hair, because I'm not getting really any blade feel as such. I was a little bit worried about this being too mild. But it is chomping through the hair, it really is. Right, I'll go against the grain on this little bit here. I don't even feel it cutting the hair, but it's chewing through it. Is it getting blocked up a little bit? I think it's getting blocked up ever so slightly, but I think that's mainly my lathering technique with this cream. I haven't used it for a while. It's probably just a little bit thick, but it is holding the lather in that gap just a little bit. There's plenty flow through gap there, so it's not that it won't flow through when the lather's right. The lather's just a little bit thicker than I normally would have it. Now, one thing I'm going to have to be wary of, this razor does have quite a fair bit of overhang, as you can see just here. It does stick out quite a bit. Not as much as some razors, but it's definitely more than pretty much every razor in my den. So smooth. Wow. It's really an exceptional razor. I'm just going directly against the grain now. It's not taking it all off because I'm not going over and over again, but just with that few little strokes. It's getting very, very close. Now, one thing that I'm noticing it a lot, is the finish on this razor. If I had to sort of compare it to like a look or an effect, it would be the difference between gloss and matte. So obviously this is, for me, this would be a matte effect finish. And what it's doing is it doesn't stick to your skin. There's no juddering or anything, it just slides, it glides with the blade. It's actually pretty ingenious, if I'm honest. I'm surprised more companies don't adopt that sort of blasted finish. Because all I'm feeling is the blade cutting the hair. I'm not really feeling the safety bar or the top cap, because it's so smooth, it's just gliding over my skin. It's just blitzing through this. Now the handle length is only 3 inches, so I thought it might have been a bit of struggle street with a head shave, but it feels absolutely perfect in my hand for me. I do prefer the shorter handles. Wow, so there's not a whole heap left actually, if I'm honest. There's very little hair on my head now. Just going to empty the sink out. Very impressed. In fact, I'm not even finished this head shave yet, and I have to say, I've used Timeless razor, I've used One Blade, I've used Above the Tie, Rockno. I've used a lot of very expensive, very premium quality razors, and I've used a lot of very cheap. I've used vintage cheap razors that might be cheap but are excellent shavers. This so far has blown me away. It's probably the smoothest, most comfortable razor I've used. It's given me excellent results, even against the grain on my face. I mean, I had a few weepers and stuff here yesterday, but it wasn't any real irritation. It was just because I'm doing something that I don't normally do, and it coped with it very, very well for me. So I'm just going to do the tips first, and get the brush and attack it again. And as you can see, there's more than enough in this brush. Elvado, it's good stuff. In fact, it's better than good, it's as good as the best, really. I'm just going to do the tips again. A few people have actually said to me that the Karve razor, the Christopher Bradley as it's been named by the owner or the maker, it's the only razor they use now. A lot of people have said that it makes the Rockwell feel rough, and do you know what, I think I'm going to have to agree. And I love the Rockwell. The Rockwell's a super smooth razor for me, but this is better. In fact, it's better than anything I've used. It's plain and simple. It is as simple as that. It's the best razor I've used. And it looks phenomenal. Right against the grain. And I'm expecting this to take a little bit longer than normal, but we'll see. Because it feels so mild. It's just so smooth. I can't talk up the smoothness enough. It's smooth, but it's efficient. I mean, I'm pretty much BBS, well, I am BBSA, just from a few strokes. I feel like I can actually be a little bit rough with it. I feel like I can give it a bit and I'm not worried about cutting myself. It's such a good razor. Now, I can tell you right now that the irritation I'm going to get from this is extremely minimal, if any, that I'm going to feel. I've got no cuts, I don't feel like I've got any bumps or any weepers anywhere. I put a little bit more pressure on than I did on my face, but it still feels extremely comfortable. Cream, well, the cream, I don't need to say much more about this cream. I've used it that many times and I've had nothing but exceptional results, and once again it lives up to the billing. The Canadians are knocking it out the park at the moment. They're really up there with all your Canadian, your American artisans, and obviously Wolfman, which I've never had the pleasure of using, are based out of Canada as well. And I believe there's a couple of very good soap makers out there as well. I think Talbot Shaving's Canadian. I'm not sure if the first Canadian shave soap is. I know that sounds daft, but I think that's a Canadian by the Canadians that make it but live in America. I'm pretty sure that company's based in America, but yeah, really impressed. Like I say, the only sort of downside for me, and it's a purely a material downside, is that this is only available in brass. If you don't like brass, then you probably won't buy this razor, but even if you don't like brass, you don't like the look of it, I'm not a big fan myself, you have to you have to buy this razor. It's phenomenal. Now I paid roughly $112 for this razor, Canadian shipped, which for me is amazing. So a little dip of water there, and then we should be able to clean up the crown. Right, little splash of the Elvado Royal Tahitian Lime Aftershave Tonic. I don't know whether I mentioned the scent of this soap. It's Royal Tahitian Lime, so it's a very citrusy, limey, orange, lemony sort of scent. It is a mixture of all the scents. The splash is phenomenal. It smells, it just smells so good. It's an alcohol-free base, so you can have it shipped all over the world. And while that's drying in, I'm going to rinse the brush out. And you've seen how far that 3 pumps of cream went. I could probably done another full pass comfortably. 3 pumps would probably do your face and your head shave. It would certainly be pretty close. Brilliant. So the shaving cream for today was Elvado for Men Royal Tahitian Lime. Oh, the cool feel from this is just phenomenal. There's no menthol in it, it's wild mint, and it is absolutely brilliant. The brush was the Matt Martin Brush Guy brush. Absolutely stunning. It really is a stunning brush. The razor, I don't think I can talk this razor up enough. I really can't. If you don't have one, get one. It's as simple as that for me. This wasn't sent to me, this was purchased, but absolutely phenomenal. The Karve razor. This one's a C-plate 0.85 blade gap. It's got the shortest handle, which is a 3-inch handle. Got a Gillette Nasset blade in there, and it is like a hot knife through butter. I cannot talk this razor up enough. Now that's completely BBS. I've got no nicks, no cuts, no weepers, no nothing. I went over a lot of places with that, I buffed a lot. It's very efficient, it's very smooth. I am blown away by this razor. I cannot talk it up enough. Yeah. If you've got the money there and you're thinking about it, I would stop thinking and just act on it and just get it. There's a very good chance there's a few razors in my den could be leaving because of this. I could shave with this every day comfortably. It's an everyday shaver, easily the 0.85 blade gap. It's smooth, it's efficient, it's comfortable. And you guys know me, if you've watched my channel for long enough, whenever something comes along and beats the competition in my den, that stuff generally tends to leave pretty quickly because it doesn't get used. Elvado Aftershave Tonic was my next port of call. Oh yeah, I forgot. Started off with PAA the Cube, and that has absorbed. In fact, I'm just thinking about just sticking with that. I think I will. I was going to put some of the Royal Tahitian Lime aftershave balm on, but I don't need it. It's a very hot day today. There's more than enough goodness in that splash, there really is. I mean, the ingredients list has aqua, chamomile, witch hazel, aloe leaf juice, polysorbate, sodium lactate. The fragrance is 100% natural essential oil, and glycerol, caprolate, and glycerol undecillinate, I think it says. Made in Canada, Newmarket, Ontario. Fuck me, what a shave. I really enjoyed that. Now, I'm not going to be doing my face shave just now, I'll probably do one later on today. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of this on, which you guys probably think what a pile of shit that is. All it is just a sort of beard softener because this beard's doing my head in. But I've got to keep hold of it just for a little bit longer because these cold sores aren't going away as quickly as I thought. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is me done and dusted. I hope you enjoyed that. Best head shave I've had. Simple as that. It is the best head shave I have had with any razor of any sort. It was absolutely phenomenal. It was better than anything I get from the head blade. I'm BBS, I'm irritation free, or as minimal irritation as you can possibly get. It was comfortable, smooth, efficient, it was brilliant. So I can't say much more about it, guys. I'll probably touch on it more when I do my next face shave, and I'll have a bit more information on the razor, and I'll get the blade gaps and everything right then, because I know not everyone watches these head shaves. But other than that, stay safe, drive safe, don't drink and drive, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Cheers.